I'm so excited to be back filming a video for YouTube. It's been way too long since I've actually spent some time to film a video just for YouTube. I've been creating content on my other social medias lately, like Instagram and TikTok more. And within the past month or two, I've been really trying to post a lot and seeing some growth. So I was like, you know what? Let's try on YouTube and see if it can translate here as well. I'm still getting the hang of how I should have my setup be. I have like this ring light, this huge computer right here that has its own camera. So maybe I'll try that out instead of having my phone on a tripod. But for now, this will do. And let me introduce myself. My name is Tatiana. Welcome to my channel. And I am in my late 20s. I live in California, born and raised. And I love fashion, animals, helping others, mental health, and just all sorts of things that are involve wellness and bettering myself as an overall person and sharing those things that I learn on my journey. So that's a little bit about myself. And today's topic I wanted to share was an idea I had for a series, Mental Health Mondays. So, what I'm thinking of doing for Mental Health Mondays is discussing topics that interest me, like anxiety, depression, different psychological phenomena, personality disorders, just everything you can think of involving mental health that is interesting and relevant to our current times. The reason why I want to focus on mental health in my videos on Mondays is because I did graduate with my degree in psychology in 2020. So it's something that's always interested in me and I want to continue learning about it. I think it's something that definitely needs to be talked about more. And I know growing up, I was a big fan of YouTube. And so if I had videos about like how to deal with anxiety in school and just like different videos that were more open about it, I think it would be a more welcoming environment. So I think making these videos will be good to share with other people so you feel like you're not alone. So many people have mental illnesses or experience mental illnesses. I don't think there's anybody who hasn't experienced a mental illness at least once in their life, such as depression, somebody dies. It doesn't have to be chronic. I feel like everybody's at least once experienced some form of an illness, anxiety, depression, whatever it may be. I feel like nobody's escaped that. Me personally, of course, I've had mental illnesses that I experience and still have to deal with in my daily life, but definitely have learned how to lessen how I experience them and they don't control my life anymore. The main one would be social anxiety. That's something that I've always dealt with from a young girl. I don't think there's a time I can remember not having the social anxiety. So it's something that I've definitely worked through with therapy. I've tried medications. Definitely the biggest thing that's helped me has been exposure. And it sucks because with social anxiety, exposure means putting yourself in social situations and stuff that makes you socially anxious. So you're basically triggering yourself. But that's the best way, I believe, in my case, and in treating social anxiety disorder in general. So that's another reason why I really want to make these videos, because I myself have experienced, mental illnesses. So it's easier for me to talk about it and share different things that have helped me because I can speak firsthand. And that's also what led me to being so interested in the topic and wanting to study it in college, because it was just something that I really gravitated towards, not knowing why I was affected by it, and then learning, basically its nature and nurture. And it's just so many different things. Genetics and epigenetics is another big thing that really interests me. So I can go on about this for days, but that's a little bit about my own mental illnesses. I have experienced depression and other experiences that we'll get into more as the videos go on. But definitely social anxiety disorder is something that I'm going to focus on heavily with these Mental Health Mondays because I experience it and I know a lot of tactics to help reduce that. And I feel like everybody's experienced social anxiety, even in little amounts, maybe if it's like before a presentation or something like that feeling that we get of fear of being judged in front of others in social situations is common, more common than you think. I'm not going to make this video too long for my introduction of Mental Health Monday because it's kind of just an overall introduction to the series and a little bit about myself and why I'm doing this, my experience with mental illness, and, you know, the overall view of where I think this series is going to be headed. And I think a big part of talking about mental health is choosing your words wisely, especially when it comes to talking about yourself and your own illnesses. And what I mean by that is, I used to say, like, oh, I have social anxiety, or, so and so has depression or this. But if you reframe it, and I learned this in college, of course, you choose your words wisely, then you'll start to reframe how you think about it. So instead of saying, oh, I have social anxiety, it's just a part of me, right? Or it's always going to be there. But you reframe it and you say, I experience social anxiety, then it becomes sort of like less connected to you. And it's something like, well, it's something I experience and it doesn't control my life. And you can definitely overcome it. So if you choose to think about how you frame your words in ways like that, it can really help your mindset and your confidence in just believing, like, I can do this. Because it's so hard when you have any sort of mental illness, depression, anxiety, ADHD, bipolar disorder, so many different mental illnesses that can all at times make you feel less than, because you can't do something to the same level as somebody who's not labeled as neurodivergent or mentally ill. So I definitely relate to those feelings. I'm super excited to get into this topic, and I could go on about it forever. So I'm just going to try and cut it short, but we'll definitely go more into the social anxiety disorder, more in depth about other anxiety disorders in general in future videos. So I hope you guys are excited for this series. If you will, please leave me a comment and let me know what you want to see in the series. If there's any specific topics that you want to talk about. I know some other topics that I am planning in my head on talking about include social media and how that's impacted our mental health, because I'm kind of like the oldest of Gen Z. I'm 27 years old, 1997. So when I look online, it's kind of like that weird age range where I'm not exactly a millennial, but I'm not exactly like a Gen Z that much. So I call myself a zillennial because I'm the oldest of the Gen Zs, but it doesn't feel like that. I feel like I really know both worlds. But the point of what I was trying to get to in saying that is, growing up with social media was something that I feel like my generation kind of grew up with, like the first generation to grow up with. It was so new to us that we're still seeing the effects of it. And I know I had like a cell phone in the 7th grade. I think I got my first iPhone probably by high school, for sure by high school. So, around 14 years old, I'm getting social medias, Instagram and whatnot. So I think it will be interesting to explore that topic and how it's affecting us, especially the younger kids, like who grew up with it at an even younger age, how that's affecting them. And another topic, a little bit more heavy-hearted, is school shootings. I know, I'm not even sure if I can say that without it like being monitored or something, because it's so heavy. It's a heavy topic, but I feel like it needs to be talked about. Why is it happening? My dogs are here. Why is it happening so much in our schools in America? And what can we do to be proactive and help our kids who feel like they need to turn to those dark places and, take away that negativity? Because it's really something that scared me from being in high school and the Sandy Hook shootings, being in high school, and just, it really traumatizes you just being in that sort of environment and not knowing if you're going to be safe. So that's something I definitely want to talk about. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to give me a like, subscribe, follow along for more of my Mental Health Monday videos, and leave me a comment.